My next guest is a French film star who has caused ladies to pass out at the very sight of him. But will you welcome, please, Alain Delon.
If you think about acting legends, people who shaped modern acting and continue to leave a resounding impact, a couple of figures probably pop into mind. Marlon Brando, James Dean, Al Pacino, Jack Nicholson, etc., etc. You get the picture. Now, what do these Hollywood legends have to do with a French actor from a troubled upbringing? Well, the answer is everything. Alain Fabien Maurice Marcel Delon was born November 8, 1935, and from the start, it never seemed like he was destined to be an actor.
You didn't intend to be an actor, did you?
No, I was not supposed to be an actor. By the way, I didn't know what I was going to do.
And although he came from a family of slight wealth, he had a troubled childhood, with his parents divorcing at just age 4, leaving him in the trust of a foster family. Due to his troubled upbringing, Delon constantly got into fistfights with his fellow students, stole a principal's motorcycle, and tried to run away from school for a trip to Chicago.
Monsieur Delon, when you were a kid, I heard that you tried to run away to America. Did you get here?
How do you know that? Well, I was 14 years old and I just wanted to reach Chicago. And Chicago because it sounds good. I didn't get to Chicago because I was stopped by the police before I get into the boat.
So, after being expelled from school due to constant misbehavior, Delon held a brief stint as an apprentice at a butcher shop before finally joining the French Navy at 17, where he stole a Jeep and accidentally drove it into a lake. So, with no education and fresh out of the Navy at 20 years old, what was next for the young Delon? Well, his good looks helped him couch surf and get fed by ladies who thought he was good looking. One of these ladies, Brigitte Aubert, was a young actress who had just been in a movie directed by Alfred Hitchcock. After Aubert took Delon to a film festival with her, the rest was history. Delon was quickly spotted and offered multiple different contracts to act in films. Delon's good looks had thrust him into the movie industry without any former acting experience. However, he was in good hands, with one of his very first directors giving him some of the best acting advice to ever exist. I didn't know how to do anything. Algeret looked at me and he said, "Listen to me, Alain. Speak as you speak to me. Look at how you look at me. Listen as you listen to me. Don't play. Live." It changed everything. If Yves Algeret hadn't told me that, I wouldn't have had this career. And boy, what a career he would go on to have, starring in iconic films that set the precedent for good cinema in France and abroad, as well as being a pivotal figure in the new film style of French New Wave that was emerging at this time. He was eventually awarded with an honorary Palme d'Or in 2019 for his contributions to cinema. However, in this video, I wanted to take a closer look and examine the two films that established Delon's career and cemented his legacy as an immensely talented actor, Plein Soleil and Le Samourai. The film that propelled Delon's career and truly made him a star was Plein Soleil, or in English as it's called, Purple Noon. Purple Noon is an adaptation of The Talented Mr. Ripley, written by Patricia Highsmith and released in 1960. While you may be familiar with the 1999 adaptation starring Jude Law and Matt Damon, the two films could not be further apart. We follow Tom Ripley, Dickie Greenleaf, or as in the French adaptation, he is called Philippe Greenleaf, and Philippe's girlfriend Marge as they roam Italy and Tom attempts to coerce Philippe to return to America so that he can collect the $5,000 promised to Tom by Philippe's father. However, Tom Ripley has some ulterior motives and envies Philippe's relaxed lifestyle and girlfriend. He eventually murders Philippe alone at sea and attempts to assume his identity. Besides the plot, the two films tackle the story in immensely different ways. The primary way being Delon's confident and self-assured depiction of Tom Ripley versus other adaptations that have depicted Tom Ripley as socially awkward or insecure. The way Delon delivers this and his other fantastic performances is through two ways: his expressive eyes and his immaculate physical acting. These are the two defining characteristics that are nowhere more evident than Delon's most famous scene, the market walk scene. As Delon walks the market as Tom Ripley, he gives off so much subtle nuance about the character. Tom Ripley's confident and suave nature after assuming Philippe Greenleaf's identity only accentuated after believing he has gotten away with the perfect murder. Having now mastered Philippe's signature, he begins to take on more and more of Philippe's characteristics, body language, and even clothing. His walk is large and relaxed, almost like he is flicking his legs out. He takes large puffs off his cigarette and his eyes analyze the entire environment, conveying confidence, but also some of the paranoia that still remains in him due to the risk of being caught at any time. He walks like he essentially owns the entire market. Or, at the beginning of the film, when Delon's character impersonates Philippe, the look on Delon's face as he shifts from imitation to embarrassment when Philippe catches him, displaying his immense talent for mastering the physical mannerisms of a character. And again, as Delon's character eliminates Philippe on the boat at sea, watch how his face changes from a fake and charming smile to a look of worry, panic, and relief all at once. He is so shaken by his actions that he falls into the wheel as he begins to turn it. And when Delon prepares to release Philippe out into the ocean, Ripley's real face and emotions are shown, showcasing his contempt and disgust with Philippe and a masterclass in face and eye expression by Delon. Later on, when Philippe's friend, Freddie, comes to visit Tom and discovers he is impersonating Philippe, watch how Tom's face shifts as he realizes he must kill Freddie to maintain his facade. The almost unnoticeable twitch of the eye. And once the act is complete, his face again shifts, understanding the consequence of his actions, but also showcasing a deep-rooted satisfaction that looms underneath. Even Ripley's body language starts to adjust near the end of the film, with him slouching in chairs and occupying loads of space with his body in relaxed posture. When Delon seduces Philippe's girlfriend, his eyes paint the entire picture. The seduction, lust, and envy are now finally on full display. It all culminates at the end of the film, with Delon relaxing on the beach, completely self-assured he has gotten away with the perfect crime. Delon takes on a smug smile and sips his cocktail. All the while, the police stand looming in the distance, and as he walks into the bar, he enters into his fate. After his continued fame and success in Europe, Delon tried numerous times to break into the American film industry in Hollywood, with films like Scorpico and Once a Thief. However, these films found limited commercial and critical success, leading Delon to focus his attention back to the European film industry. While Alain Delon may never have garnered the same level of notoriety and fame with an American audience, his immense acting talent and unmatched looks continue to resonate in the hearts of all those who get to experience the pleasure of watching Delon on film. Delon was a fascinating man who somehow stumbled upon his destiny. He loved his dogs, his four-legged friends who he wished to be buried with, and tried his best to be a good man, in spite of his troubled upbringing. He was a man of immense faith, often attributing his success to the Virgin Mary. He eventually found a way to rekindle his relationship with his parents, often crediting his mother for his good looks. He had one message for the youth before passing away on August 18th, 2024, at the age of 88 years old. I will play it for you now.
Est-ce que vous auriez un message pour cette jeunesse pour qui Alain Delon n'a pas 85 ans, mais a, comme je vous l'ai montré tout à l'heure, toujours 20 ans?
Je leur dirais qu'au moins dans leur tête, qu'ils restent jeunes. C'est le seul secret.